Am I back yet? Hello, Nick. How are you? I hope you have been well. Not too busy, but anyway, my power just went out. It just like completely cut out for the whole house. Everything turned off, including my router and modem. And I think we're back. Kind of feels like we're back. So let me get stuff opened again. OBS is being weird. It's not loading my chat. It's not loading my camera. Okay, camera's definitely working. Activate. Still not load. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. You. Okay, now I can see my chat. Awesome. Work lately is going extremely crazy. Good crazy, bad crazy, manageable crazy, expected crazy. What am I missing? I'm missing Visual Studio. Bad crazy. No. Is there anything I can do to help? I want to help. I don't want you to be in bad crazy situation. And hello, Master Rat. You are here, and I am back from a random power outage. I was totally not expecting that. The only way to help would be to work for the company, but then you would be in the crazy situation too. Well, if I can help pull or bring the crazy situation to a resolution. It's a work in progress, but I'm not going to let you merge a broken change into master. If it's a work in progress, you shouldn't be doing a PR. Am I right? Am I right? I could be wrong, but I don't really want to approve a PR that has build errors. What is going on? Welcome back, Latrine. Looks like you got your first 2,000 channel points. So that's what it does. Unfortunately, oh, I already read that. But yeah, we've still been having fun with Blazor. I don't know how long it's been since you've been here, Nick. But of course, there's absolutely, as usual, no pressure for you to respond in any way, especially since it sounds like you're in a super busy times. But I will just explain really quick what we have been doing on the stream. We've been working on, the bot isn't started. We've been working on, oh, you open the stream sometimes, so you already know. Cool. Let me get the bot. Man, that closed everything. I'll restore the pages in a second. First, let's get the bot going. We've been working on a financial management tracking application, full stack Blazor, web, desktop, everything application so that we can still continue exploring Blazor while I'm at my new job that doesn't allow me to stream the work that I do like I used to do. I've cut down the total number of hours that I stream to 2 hours on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That may be getting cut down even more in the coming weeks. We'll find out. I'm going to give it a trial run for maybe 2 weeks. And then if I am swamped or dead, then I'll probably just have to take a short break from streaming, which I don't want to do because I have so much fun streaming with you guys, hanging out. But yeah, it's going to be busy for a little bit. Oh, okay. So here's what the app currently looks like. All right, I wanted to open you, Control Shift T to get all of my windows back open. Control Shift T. Good. That's open again. I'm not going to be able to log into that until after the stream. That's fine. Everything is fine. Holy cow. Nick says I have over 280k points now. Yeah, it's good to see you though. Sorry to hear that things are busy, like not the good kind of crazy busy. Last week was actually a pretty good week for us. We were on top of our release, and we were able to release our newest version, our latest version of the app for my work product, for the work product that I am helping with. It's not only mine, I am just helping a team, part of a team. And so we released that. And so I've been spending the past few days while we were on code freeze doing some work in a branch to restructure the application so that all of my components are in a separate library so that we can use it in any satellite projects or applications that we have as well. And it's been a lot of fun. I got so much cleaned up. And then one of my teammates has been working furiously on getting the speed of the startup to go much faster. And really, like, there were two main things that he did. The first one, I don't know the full details on, but it was a lot. The second one was just upgraded to .NET 7. Like, we literally just changed the version number to .NET 7 SDK and then updated the packages. And that gave us a massive increase. And we went from like 15 seconds startup to 1.5 seconds now, maybe less on a decent machine. Yeah, absolutely, Master at Abso-flippin'-lutely. Okay, it looks like it kept our buttons. Did it also keep our code behind? It did. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to trying Blazor United. But for the work app, it's a desktop application that I'm just using the Blazor rendering engine to do all of the UI work. So it's a WPF app with a Blazor Web View control that points to the component library. Okie dokie. So we are well on our way to getting it's going to take a while to get back to that. All of that stuff that you just saw was stuff from not Chat GPT, Auto GPT. If you're ever interested in that, just let me know. It's very cool. It's very fun to play around with. It's not as smart as I thought it was going to be, but it was still really cool to play with. Finan Man, Wasm, server, .NET Watch, .NET Stare. I'm starting a new project for my uncle. Are you allowed to share details about your new project? If you feel like it, of course. Okay. Here we go. This. No, I knew that was going to happen. So I use mouse without borders. And so if I get too close to the edge, then it moves the mouse to my next device. Just drops everything. Currently looking into a CMS that runs on .NET Core. You know, that could actually be beneficial. It would be nice to have an alternative to WordPress and SharePoint. Well, SharePoint runs on .NET Core, doesn't it? I'm assuming that they would have updated it by now. Unless it's like completely different and doesn't use .NET at all. That would be insane. That would be crazy. Okay. Okay. We're back. We're back to where we were. It's not picking up my icons. Oh, because it didn't actually copy them. Sumimasen. That is a lot of open. Does anyone see transaction history row? It probably closed when it crashed. Oh, it's called base transaction row. It's because I was looking for the wrong thing the whole time. Okay, you. You. Here we go. Yes. Please. I would like that. I'm always searching with Control T. I'm always searching files with Control comma, but I think it's the same thing. I think Control T is the same as Control comma. I didn't know that. I use Control comma instead. I don't know why. Seems to actually be Umbraco and Orchard on .NET Core. I think I've heard of them. No guarantees. I don't want to lie. I am not a liar on purpose, if I can help it. Man, it rearranged everything. Excuse me. Okay, that needs to do the thing. They're both quite big. The two CMSs. To be fair, I'm using the ReSharper edition, which searches the whole solution. Yeah, this thing definitely searches the whole solution. So I use a combination of this if I'm looking for files or class references, and Control Shift F if I am looking for like class names, CSS class names. For example, I don't know, deposit history. I'm sure I have something in here that's deposit history. I don't. There, deposit entry wrapper, data entry wrapper. So where am I using this class? That kind of thing. All right, now that I'm fully, completely lost and off kilter, let's continue. I want to write the logic for making this row editable. And so we have a couple ways of doing it. I mean, a few ways of doing it. There are oftentimes multiple ways to do the same thing. What I would like to do is to has a if, oh, we need the whatchamacallit for it, Boolean variable. If we are editing this field, private bool editing, which will start off as false. And so the only thing that we'll do with handle edit clicked is say editing equals true for now. So if we are editing, then we're going to have input fields. Else, we're going to have, oh my goodness, I cannot type. Otherwise, we're going to have the data showing. Then down here, we're also going to change our edit button to the commit versus cancel. So if editing, not that, else. So if we are not editing, then we're just going to have the edit and delete buttons. Otherwise, we are going to has say commit, save. Saving. Do we want you to be tech success? Probably. And is there a Unicode character that we can use for a saved disk? Or checkmark. Checkmark. Let's do checkmark instead. Unicode checkmark. Do I like this one? I don't know if I like this one. There are others. Heavy checkmark. I kind of like the heavy checkmark more. Yeah, let's go with that. Heavy checkmark it is. And just so that we can get toggle back and forth between them, let's go ahead and write the logic for cancel, discard, discard, cancel. And this will be handle save clicked. Also, I've started going to the office now. Was that something you were looking forward to doing? Yeah, my new work is 100% remote, which is what I was looking forward to doing. Why are you guys protected anyway? What am I even doing? And Napalm, thank you so much for the follow. I've seen you around. I hope you're well. Not really, especially now that I'm buying a house. Oh no. So it's like doubly stressful and annoying for you. I feel your pain. Task completed. Task. So what are you up to, Napalm? Hi, welcome in. That's cool. That's really nice of them. So is it that your company was actually requiring you to go into the office now, or is it more like it was optional, but they would you feel really bad if you're the only one not going into the office and everyone else has chosen to, yeah, that whole thing. They require us because of the parent company. Yeah, that's how it definitely was for me at the Arsenal. And so now I am in a situation where I can be 100% remote, and um, it's just so much better for me. It's so much better for my psyche, for my mentality, for my brains. Napalm says, I'm waiting for an offer actually. Woohoo. Let's just say I had some bad luck with my move at the first of the year. Azure IoT though, coming though, and full remote. Nick is saying, the parent company now after June, they want us to move into a 3 days in the office, which will not go well, meaning more interesting work ahead. Awesome. It was only a little bit awkward phrasing, but that's okay. You got your point across. And now we understand. Okay, so we should be able to now toggle the edit on. We won't actually see a difference except for on these buttons. Let's see a difference up here real quick. And for now, we're just going to make them input text. Actually, this is going to be the combo. A select, reach, cur line item type. I don't think I have an enum of line item types. Nice try though. We need to use our lookup list service. Oh, which we already have right here. I planned ahead. I knew we were gonna need it. Okay, so cur line item type dot ID display text. No, value text and display text. Okay, good. But yeah, so as for me, I mean, congratulations for the potential job offer. I hope it comes soon. And nothing weird happens for you on that. And for Nick, yeah, you have my thoughts sent out to you and some positive vibes for your situation. That it would change to be something that is more in line with what you are wanting for yourself and your situation. It's going to be input type text. And for now, I'm just going to use value because we're going to need to track changes on this. Ooh, my throat is still tickling a little bit. And then this is going to be amount, which is going to be input type number. And then we'll format it to be 2 decimal places. Okay, waiting is killer. Absolutely. until I have a signature somewhere. It has risk. Yeah, it does. I'm waiting on something myself that needs signatures as well. And that's all you can do, my dear friend. I could do more. I could try to get hired by your company and make it so that things are different. I doubt it'll happen, but I could try that. But you're right. With my current resources, that's all that I can do for now. Send you some positivity. Not even positivity, just good things. Um we saw Nerd Herder say something a few weeks ago. I haven't seen Broken Sword much lately. But yeah, completely understandable, completely okay. I've changed up the schedule so much, changed up what we do on the stream. I understand. Absolutely. But things are going to be very different most likely soon ish. Soon being sometime before the end of the year. Oh, it's Tyndall. Hello, Tyndall. Yes, please. Yeah, I agree. The schedule is more of what made it difficult for other people. It's like I stream in the middle of the day in the US, which is like early evening in Europe, and it, it starts at a different. I don't know. You just don't think about coming to the stream during those times. It's check mark. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Now you have to pick a payment. There you go. Awesome. Thank you so much, Thindle. Gosh, I really need to say this as soon as I see someone else come in. So, in the coming weeks, I'm going to do a little trial for myself, which is to keep the same schedule, but I might have to reduce the amount of streaming for a little bit, depending on how things go during that time. And I've mentioned it before, I mentioned it a couple weeks back, but I may be streaming even less than I'm currently streaming. Cool. And if we cancel, please enter a valid value. I push cancel. Because I really do need that thing to be formatted before we're able to do this. Form increment. No, what is it called? It's called step 0.01. And that should allow, not there. That should allow us to do decimals. And Napalm is saying to Thindle, I know what the offer is, and I will be happy with it. Oh, Thindle was asking if Napalm got the offer. I know what it is, and I know I'll be happy with it. Hasn't been officially sent over yet, but he's waiting. Waiting. I did not approve of this change. One line. Who should I call to complain? What's the number of your boss? 2. Obviously. The number of my boss is 2. Is that +1? Country code, please? Wait, why are you telling me? Did I hook up the wrong one? No, handle cancel clicked. I think equals was false. Yeah. That's where I know you from. No napalm. I have a rep. Hopefully a good one. Yes, it's a good rep. Okay. Oops. Cancel. You. Cancel. You. Cancel. Okay, so we have that functionality working. I don't like that, it's all stretching and stuff, but we're going to do UI cleanup in a later step. We're working on functionality, but so far, WeM has the ability to switch to an edit mode per line. I'm going to need to find out if I want only one line able to, one line, of course, one line able to be edited at a time. So like right now with our transaction history grid, only one can be edited at a time because we have this thing being modal, except for, if you happen to tab over to it, which is going to be one of the UI cleanup steps where when the modal is open, you're not allowed to tab to any of the underlying elements because it's a modal. You're not supposed to be able to get to anything else. But yeah, here's your edit. We can enter information. So now I am going to write the logic for telling this thing to keep track of the current values and then use that in the edit. And then when it is committed, then we will apply that to the payment details underlying model. And so if you guys have heard of this guy named Nick the first one, he wrote a change tracker library. That he just kind of threw together called NP Object Comparison. And we could use that. It only tracks the best changes. Are you still using it? So I know that the place that I left is still using it because they haven't had a developer since I left. And so no one has changed the code at all. So yes, they're still using it. I haven't used it in this app. And I don't think that I will for this purpose. I think, and I could be wrong, but I think that I have a clone, not static, public override set parameters async, which will first await. Then it will do the if try parameters dot try get value of type payment detail view model called payment detail. Oh yeah, name of, no idea what I'm doing. Name of payment detail out var payment detail. Then we are going to have a private payment detail edit nullable edit payment detail. And that is going to be payment detail dot clone. Hey, we have a dot clone. Okay, so the thing that we can get that's a benefit in Nick's library, though, is the actual ability to do patches and to see the changes, to actually have a real change tracker. Here, I'm just creating a clone of the object, and that clone is going to be the thing that I use in here. Oh, excuse me. And as you can see, it's going to complain because I don't know that edit payment is not null by this point. And so we'll have to do some extra checks up there. But yeah, Nick was saying, or actually, first Thindle said, I just learned today that a company in my city is using a payment provider library I made. That's awesome. That's really cool. Then I checked Nougat and it has like 15,000 downloads. That's pretty awesome. Nick said, I actually thought of going one step further with it and looking into providing a source generator for .NET Core. I wrote my first source generator a few weeks ago. I can't really remember when it was. And it's for like creating different shapes of telemetry data just by putting an attribute on a class. That's called telemetry, or not even telemetry data, log data. Yeah, because all of our log data for the app that I'm working on has the same first few fields, which are descriptions of the app that's running. And then the rest of it are custom fields that are to that specific type of log data. For example, telemetry or user journey kind of stuff. 2,531 downloads on my package. I'll take that. Mine was a middleware to let you swap out client-side bundles based on a browser culture settings. So then Nick said, or first Napalm said to Nick, nice. I didn't know this. I tried to build a NuGet back in the full framework days. That never took off. Nick said, I started it because I was inspired by the Delta model that Microsoft had made for mobile endpoints framework they had. It's nowhere near to being fully feature, but I want to get back to it when I get some time. It's not a competition. Having 2,500 people using your stuff is hella cool. I got 2 people using my stuff. Like, I don't even have my stuff on NuGet because it's not good enough. I plan to make it good enough to actually release this as a component library that is customizable, usable, and is up there with all of the other popular component libraries. But I just, like, the last time that I updated it was almost a year ago. No, yeah, I need time. I need time. But yeah, as I was saying, the thing that Nick's library gives us is the actual ability to say, are there changes to this model after we track it? And what I'm going to do is go ahead and make this not nullable and just set it equal to new, because lazy. Because I know that payment detail view model, the payment detail parameter is required, and edit payment detail will be set before we get to the point of displaying the edit for this. I archived it. Locale loader. To replace generic HTTP requested files with locale specific files, are you developing a single page application featuring an ASP.NET backend? You want to eliminate heavy unnecessary MVC dependencies in your SPA framework like AngularJS that has an internationalization library which requires you to load locale specific script dynamically. What is locale specific script? So like we do a whole bunch of internationalization. Well, we do mostly localization. There's very little internationalization in our app. Like the closest we get is date format. That's about it. But this kind of makes it sound like you have different scripts based on the locality, like JavaScript files. Yeah, okay. So that is what it is. You have different CSS based on locale. You have different JavaScript files based on locale. Yeah, that's really cool. And Tiger's here. Hello, Tiger. Your repo's naming structure is pretty cool. Who, Napalm? Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, we have translations and date formats in our app. And I think that's the extent that we go to. But it would be interesting to know, like, what would we do if we had to provide different color schemes based off of locale? That would be crazy. I mean, I know how I would do it because I use Sass. Um, I would. Where's my UI? Oh, this is my UI. Where's my Sass? I would have in my theming, I would essentially have a class name that I put for each locale that is supported, and then override the CSS. These aren't called CSS variables, I've been told, but the CSS variables. Also, look at his Git.io page, github.io. Pretty, very pretty, very clean, very sleek, very smooth. I might use this as a template for my page. Cool. Man, it's a nice little walkthrough thing, and you choose your. That's really nice. It's very soft feeling. I like it. Wait, that's not yours. That's just. I was like, oh my gosh, this feels nice. I like this a lot. Let's go to Napalm. Oops. Look at me looking like a derp. .github.io. Or you can just go to sean.faust.us. Okay, this is not so smooth. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. It's more than what I have. This is what mine looks like right now. Ta-da! Um, let's see. I have one line GitHub.io, which is the old version of my component library stuff that only shows the drag and drop. And then I have Blazor component library, which is the new version of it that only shows 4 of the things. Easy, just conform or else. uh, there's a template I made a lot of tweaks to. Yeah, that's cool. So I like the colors. I absolutely love the colors. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. What do you look like? Ooh, it's responsive. And ooh, there you go. Aha. Yeah, as you can tell, my GitHub page is just the Blazor template and my components listed out on it. I'm missing so much chat. Can they have variable values? Can what have variable values? was actually speaking about Napalm's GitHub page. Not this GitHub page, but it is nice though. I mean, I did like scrolling through github.io. Not gonna lie. Or whatever I clicked on. How did that not take me to the page? That's the same link that was up here. That's so weird. I was like, man, this looks really professional. You're gonna have to teach me some things, Napalm. Oh, this is actually GitHub's. It's like there's this nice little walkthrough of what you're trying to accomplish, and it changes the content. I'm like, dang, that's smooth. Client side WASM, yes. That's hilarious. Um, whatever you do, don't look at Eric Johansson. .se. Okay, I won't. Like I said, it's a Hugo template with some customizations. Yes, GitHub can run Blazor. Absolutely. It takes a little bit of setup. There's a good walkthrough for it, but if you look at GitHub.io, Blazor, not GitHub.io, my Blazor component library, you will see a GitHub action that does the pages build and deployment. This looks very different than what I remember seeing, but there's a branch called GitHub-Pages, and that shows you which files are needed. And actually, it's even easier than that now. There is a NuGet package that you can download that will do all of the setup for you. So if you look at the samples project, you will see the package called Publish SPA for GitHub Pages. And so you just include that in your project, set up the GitHub action for publishing your page as a GitHub static pages. Here it is. This is what I'm used to seeing. But where is the actual workflow? Here it is. Okay. And so it's as simple as picking the project that you want to publish, turning on -p gh pages equals true, and then making sure that you're doing public release. And then it deploys it to that branch. Then when you go to GitHub or your username.github.io/name of the project, then you get your Blazor WASM app running in your browser. And this is me just playing around with some icons. Time to teach Angular, work only with Blazor. Nice. Yeah, and did you see how fast it loaded? Bet you it loads even faster with .NET 7. Like if I remade this samples project with .NET 7, oh, it would be nice. An ASP.NET MVC site, but found I was spending more time waiting for features for the site than writing blog content. Yuck. Oh, writing features for the site than writing blog content. So I punted to Hugo. That's what I ended up doing, says Nick. It spun an idea for writing a NuGet package that wraps Git commands so that I can push my articles in GitHub and then auto pick them up from the website. That's cool. And Dindle says, I'm going to start working on my site. I promise. Yeah, I'll work on mine eventually too. 2M says, I have some time between projects, so I'm updating my tool sets to .NET 7. Awesome. Yeah, we were doing that with I just mentioned that we had a release on Tuesday. Either Tuesday or Thursday of last week, And so we've been working on improving the code now that we are between releases and we needed that release to be stable and be available to do any kind of bug fixes or emergency fixes for it. So we were working on improving the code base, and one of my teammates, he was working on improving the startup time. And one of the things that he did that had a massive impact on it was just updated from .NET 6 to .NET 7 and then updated the packages for everything accordingly. Oh my goodness. It's noticeable. It is very noticeable. And it's a really nice debugging experience now too. All right. There you are. Hello, you. You're now 4. You are now 4. Anyone else want to have a call span? Payment detail row, payment detail row dot chess, and return. No, just do base dot set parameters async, and that's an await parameter view dot nt. Okay, and so this is a pattern that Scott pointed me to. Scott, I'm sure it was Scott, pointed me to, where if you're going to use the set parameters lifecycle event in a component, the first thing you should do, especially if it's going to do any kind of processing inside of that, is to have it do what it normally would do, which is the base set parameters and then take in the parameters so that you are sure by the time you are done with it that no second call has come through to try to set the parameters to something else. And so when you are using those parameters here, for example, you have the latest and the most up to date. Dude. Oh, cool. Sorry, I just got some emails about another issue that came in that was like, that was by design, not a bug. I have some time doing 4.8.NET framework to 7. That's a big jump though, man. So I still have one, or not, I still have the Rocky Mountain Arsenal, the people that I used to work for. They have one project that's still .NET Framework 4.8 that was in the process of getting updated to Blazor, and it was an MVC app. Tuesdays are the worst for me. I have to go into the office. Yeah, Tuesdays are the best for me. That's when I have the most time to work on my work. Um, Blazor for admin, MVC, public. Oh yeah, Thindle's like that's what I'm doing. I'm moving web forms project over to ASP.NET MVC and Blazor .NET 7. Blazor for admin, MVC for public stuff. Does the same at doing the same at work, says Nick. So you guys are doing a lot of modernization, which is my favorite type of work. I absolutely love modernizing and upgrading and keeping with the latest. It's so much fun. Um, Not going to plug too much, but you are allowed to plug as much as you want. But Tuesdays, half an hour ago. So Tuesdays at 11:30 Mountain Time, UTC -6, is when Thindle streams, and you know I don't mind. Napalm's like, I like greenfield projects, something new and shiny. That's me. Completely okay. Yeah, I prefer taking something that exists and improving it. Although I do enjoy greenfield projects as well. Like right now, I'm part of a group that is doing some virtual technology proof of concept, and live coding told me never to say it aloud ever again, but they have this concept of MLP. I know most of you know what an MVP is in regards to project types, but we are working on making an MLP, which is the minimum lovable project. Can't say that I'm a fan of that phrase or acronym. I understand what they mean by it, but I don't know if I can get behind calling it that. Okay. So, um, there are a couple more parameters we need. Most upgrade is to EF core for the moment. Yeah. Oh man. Especially if you were using EF framework, Entity Framework for .NET Framework. Yeah. I mean, like we're all in the same boat because oh, you were even using database first, the EDMX files. Oh my gosh. And Black Soul. Hello. Oof. Oof. That's tough. But yeah, so like I have PTSD from the mess we had at my previous gig. So I tried Entity Framework for the first time when I started the job at the Rocky Mountain Arsenal in 2017. I had been using just SQL Client, I think, with the MVC apps before that. Um, and so that was a really big mental shift for me when I was doing that. Is that how it went? No, I started in 2014 using Entity Framework. And then I sold Entity Framework to the team that I was working with. But before that it was SQL Client for sure. But anyway, using database first or using code first was what I did for the first time here. That's what it was. And thank you so much for the follow. Bind shell. Bind shell. Please don't bind me. Welcome to you too. Um, but yeah, so I was like committed to using database first EDMX because it was the easiest way to maintain the database for me. I couldn't wrap my head around doing code first. I couldn't see myself ever doing code first. And now it's like the only thing I ever want to do is code first. Because migrations and being able to customize the tables and make my views using the DB context and yeah, I very, very much prefer code first now. Once again, who knows if that's going to change? Right. Public use UOW, unit of works. So, yes ish. Not really. I use transactions in my services, which is kind of the same, but not really. I would need, yeah, that is true. It's a good statement. So Nick is saying that EF core is unit of work by itself, by the way. But isn't there like an actual command that you can put on the context that makes a certain process a unit of work? I think Broken Sword was using that in some issue I was helping with. I was like, no, no thanks. Event callback. So we have payment detail changed. We have Payment detail deleted. Okay. So let me just give an example of using the transaction around it, which is kind of bad in my application's context, more overloaded words, because a transaction from the standpoint of my database is a financial or not my database, my application is a financial transaction. And so if you're doing something like a transfer, which is two financial transactions, it's all wrapped in this database transaction. And then if any part of it fails, then the database transaction gets rolled back. And the reason it gets rolled back is because it disposes as soon as it hits the exception. And so nothing ever gets saved to the database. Lucasoft. Meow, meow, meow. Meow GPT is here. I'm missing a lot of chat. Exactly, I had EDMX files, but I did an EF Core 3 scaffold of the DB to create code and move the truth over to the code first. Yeah, so that's what I ended up doing to all of the database contexts. This is database projects for the previous job for the Rocky Mountain Arsenal. They have, I don't know, 13 plus databases that the apps use. Maybe less than that. I'm going to go with 8 or 9. Anyway, they have a lot of databases. And so I just use EF Core Power Tools to reverse engineer all of the databases into Code First. And then I've been maintaining them using Code First since then. Wasn't there some shims or something? Shims? For going from EF framework to core? EF utilities, maybe? I don't know. I don't really remember. Yeah, okay. So T. Williams made a comment a while ago that I overlooked, but he said, since I write code that other companies use, I also worry that I'm modernizing my code to up to date, that may conflict with existing systems. That's why you version it. You version it and leave your .NET framework stuff in .framework, and you say we're phasing out of this, so start using the .NET Core versions because that's going to be supported from here on out. Because there shouldn't be too many issues going from one version of .NET currently to the next. However, according to another team that I've been working with at my current job, even going from .NET 5 to .NET 6 is a really big hassle for them because of some machine level code that they're using that doesn't exist in the later .NET SDKs. I'm like, wouldn't that be with the Windows shell and not the .NET SDK? But I don't know enough about machine level code, so yeah. Stop using EF. We had databases join across databases in perpetuity at the old place. It didn't do well. Excuse me. So many hiccups. I keep running into threading issues with EF Core and awaiting stuff. You probably need to start using context factories. Then you should at least be able to ease a little bit of the pain. Napalm says, easiest solution is death to relational, long live NoSQL. Blah. I still have so much trouble thinking in NoSQL. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't wanna. You can't make me. Sir Black Soul said to Findle's comment about threading, EF looking out for you and telling you, you need a break. Black Soul greeted Dukasoff when he came in, and he said, "Any of you guys spitting out data into multiple contexts?" Yes, absolutely. Or one context to rule them all. Multiple contexts for the apps that I was working on before. To run EF6 under core, pretty sure there was something. Yeah, so that was the shims that you were talking about. I kind of remember stuff like that, but yeah, exactly what Marcus said. Use scaffold DB context, or EF Core Power Tools is a great way to do it as well, in my opinion. Because you can also, using EF Core Power Tools, you can also get the stored procedures and views when you reverse engineer it. I found MongoDB Atlas an enjoyable experience. Yeah, so for my stuff, it just doesn't make sense for me to do that because I use, like, the way that I work and the applications that I'm structuring are structured data. So accounts that are related to specific transactions in this case. And those transactions are payments. Like, this is the part that NoSQL would make more sense with, where any one transaction could be a deposit, a payment, or a transfer. And then if there are ever any new transactions in the future, we could put it in the same collection because it's still a transaction. It just has a different shape at that point in time. But everything else is like, here's some lookup tables that have a whole bunch of values that are reused in multiple places. I only want to update the text, for example, in one place and affect it everywhere without needing to go through every single entry in a collection, every single document in a collection to find out, do you have this value? If so, update it, kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. I like that. Napalm said, I wouldn't advocate for everything, but it is nice to say, hey, DB, just hold this crap for me while I'm writing code. It's pretty good at going, sure, bud, carry on. Do the thing. Yeah, but I typically do start with database design for any new projects. Like, what is this app going to do? What kind of data does it need to store and retrieve? And do I actually need a database? And the answer is almost always yes. Yes, I do. Okay, I'm almost making it somewhere. We have an edit button. Now we're editing a copy of the payment detail. So the only other things that I need to get to work are saving the edited value by clicking the check mark and deleting the existing line item. So I'm thinking I need to change this into a different icon, like a trash can. Is there a Unicode trash can? There is. It's called the waste basket. So we're going to use that in our payment detail row for cancel. Ready? Oh, it's italicized. Nice. And it's because I have this I, which was used for emphasis. So we'll figure it out. I'll probably need to make sure that it doesn't get italicized. Black Soul was saying, we, on the other hand, the DB should be a pure data dumpster without logic. So many companies put all their business logic into the DB until it breaks apart. Oh my gosh, yes. How long has that been a thing? And actually, DC Aggie was indicating some issues with an Oracle database that he's working with that has all of the logic in stored procedures, and he's trying to make a case for using direct table access since they're using EntityFramework, or actually they're using Dapper, but they're still using an ORM to access it. And so he was trying to be like, Do we really need to try to debug these stored procedures in our logic? Because it's not easy to debug when you're going through an actual process in your application. Then Marcus said, EntityFramework and SQL Server now support JSON columns. Absolutely. The Unican. And then Napalm said, we wrote a JSON generator for SQL Server 2008 once. The good old days using stored procedures to cause havoc. Blech. I wrote a stored procedure that did diff comparisons on full text. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. And it actually output a blob that did the whole, it had markup in it, essentially. And it said, here are the changes that you made in line. So almost like a red-blue Word document, except in the web. We had stored procedures calling REST APIs. What? T. Williams said, I now make all my end user apps have the recycle bin. They love that. Yeah. Although, is that kind of the effect that you get from this? That if you, well, no, this is just cancel. So that's just cancel. I don't know why this isn't doing text success, which should be the green color. But that's discard changes. But this, on the other hand, is actually delete. It's get rid of the row. You can never get it back again. If you want it back again, you're going to have to re-enter it. Since this isn't like actually going to the database or anything until you push update, shouldn't be too big of an issue. But there is no undo at the moment, which we can do in the future, well, I guess. Yeah, so cancel's fine. And then save is simply going to be, I wonder if I put a patch. Payment detail patch. I don't have a patch, but that's fine. There's only like 3 fields in payment detail. So it would be the line item text value, the amount, and the description. No, not description. It's called detail. Close enough. Then we turn editing to false. Aha. And we can actually do this here. So that every single time we push the edit button, we get a clone of the existing values. That's a better idea. And then the delete, this one's going to be a little bit harder because we will need to tell the thing that is subscribed to this, actually we need this there, that we're trying to delete this payment detail record. This thing has no knowledge of being associated with a parent payment record. And so the parent is going to be the thing that needs to handle payment details deleted, which is going to be payment detail delete payment detail clicked on. Dang it. Why did you do that? On payment, on delete payment detail. What are you doing? I need to do it faster, apparently. Oh my gosh. You know what? You know what? On payment, oh my gosh. Delete payment detail clicked. Okay, so what we're going to do is if u dot has delegate, then we can do that. Otherwise, we can't. Okay, the end. Okay, so we're going to pick this up on Wednesday. We're going to finish out this logic for removing payment details from payment records. So these are line items. We're going to remove the line items. We already did the save for the payment detail record. So that's good. And Yeah, it's going to be interesting to find out how exactly we do the handling delete clicked. But we currently have that as a parameter. So we'll listen for that in the calling table. That's it. So I will read out the rest of the chat, but I'm going to go to my ending screen because I need to get back to my regular day job. So where did I leave off? I left off at Marcus saying I have a client that uses stored procedures to send emails with email notifications. Yes, yes, we had that too. I changed that to an email sender, and I have an entire email sender library that is now used throughout the apps instead. With cursors. All the anti-patterns. Findle said, sounds like a DBA really wanted his job security. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Napalm said, things you should never go. Wait. Things you should never go, but what? In that legacy environment, didn't have much of a choice. It was so far gone already. Yes. I can I think I understand what you're saying, but yes. Things you should never do. Okay. But in a legacy environment, yeah. So again, the place that I used to work had so much old code and it was just terrible. It was bad times. It was very, very bad times when I first started. And I'm like, I want to change everything about this, but I couldn't touch the database. I couldn't do too much modernization, and got some buy-in, turned everything to Blazor, and it was so much more fun. So much more better. It's quite common though. You see this a lot. The client with the email notifications from the database. Dukasoft says, my clients have WordPress sending email notifications. WordPress, yay. Then Black Soul said, are you able to connect to finance systems in your country? That's not the point of this app. This app really is for you to manually track every single one of your spendings and savings. For myself, it's really for me. So I have an Access database application thing that connects to my SQL server and uses that as the data store. And then the Access application has all of the front end stuff for it. So my deposits, my payments, and my transfers are all in Access, and I need to manually enter them. There's already apps out there like Mint and stuff that will connect to other not third party, but your financial institutions that you could use. If we do get to that point, we may find out if we can add it just to see it happen, because the whole point of this really is to do here's some good programming practices in .NET full stack development. So here's a full stack project from beginning to end with best practices and a whole bunch of concepts that you can see. But we are getting there. We're getting really, 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 really close to finishing that core functionality. Then Marcus said, when I worked for DHL, I had to write a whole application in PL SQL. Even the front end code. Ew. Ew. I wouldn't even know how to do any front end stuff in procedural language. Chat is cut off on this scene. How dare. How dare you, chat. You'll see it eventually. Why aren't you auto... Why? What? What? I don't know. I don't know why it's being weird. There's somewhere. I don't know. It's being weird. Big Amy's here. Hello, Big Amy. I am closing out for the day, or trying to catch up on chat to close out for the day. But I'll have to stop. I'll have to do a dead stop if I don't get through the rest of them soon. Black Soul says, in the EU, you need to get certified by central bank and stuff to get read-only access and through hell for creating transactions. Yeah. Yeah, front-end and PL/SQL, you and Oracle Forms it was called. Oh, okay, so you were at least using a database engine that allows for that kind of thing. I kind of remember something like that. We used Frog to maintain our Oracle database, to connect to and maintain it. So I kind of remember something along those lines within Frog. There's an ERP system in Sweden where 100% of the logic is in stored procedures and triggers. Then there's a form editor that just points buttons to stored procedures and fields to columns. That's actually kind of smart. If that is going to be your application. But if you're writing a .NET application with your own like HTML UI, as opposed to like a drag and drop thing, no, don't go. I got to get back to work. Calculator needs its space. Like, I didn't remember that top section was actually supposed to be in landscape. So I made a square picture for today. But yeah, that's it. That's going to be my time for now. Yeah, if we keep talking, we might be able to raid Irish John Games. But no, I got to get back to work. So, as Dukasoft posted, I will be posting this video to the YouTubes no sooner than 24 hours after I end the stream. And I wish you all a great rest of your day. I'll be back on Wednesday. If you feel like being here, then I'll be happy to see you. Yeah, I don't know why. Why is the chat on this window being so super duper weird? I don't really know. I'm just gonna grab the chat here and move it up like this. There you go. You good, chat? You can see my closing statements and stuff. Okay. If you haven't followed Thindle, there's a thing for you to follow him up there. Click a heart. I will see you all, or any of you that show up. BitGamey's 9 followers away from 1,000. Wait, I'm 9 followers away from 1,000. I just now saw it. Oh, good grief. But yes, thank you so much for your support, for your love, for the joy that you all bring to the channel. You guys make this. I'm 999 followers away from 10 million. But yeah, you guys make this channel what it is. You're amazing. And yeah, just thank you. Thank you all for being here. 9,010 followers away from 10,000. You cannot shout out the current streamer. Good. Good. Okay. Ciao for now. That's it. Here's some volume. Here's my mic going away and then my camera.